All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants, doing a reaction video to the Giants and Wink Martindale parting ways. Wink Martindale has resigned as the Giants defensive coordinator. Please like and subscribe. It's the easiest thing you can do. Just press subscribe right now. There's so many different angles to this. One, the on the field coaching, right? How was that? Was that good? Was that bad? Was it overrated? Was it underrated from Wink Martindale? What happened to get us to this point where people, like Wink Martindale, right? It's an unpopular decision by Brian Dable, or, a decision by them, Wink Martindale to resign. What led to this? I think there's blame to go around on all parts, right? And now it's going to start at the top with Brian Dable, but it started for us, right? Us finding out about it was before the Patriots game, Jay Glazer reporting like these guys, it's not going to last with these guys. This could end in season. There's real tension between these two. And when you look at the context clues, it really feels like that was leaked out by Wink Martindale to Jay Glazer, right? That's what it sounded like. That was following where Xavier McKinney complained about the defensive play calling, right, and how they're not listening to their players, and which I thought was a really stupid comment by Xavier McKinney. And Wink Martindale's next time talking to the press, Wink Martindale aired him out, made him look stupid, right? Which I don't agree with Wink doing that, even though he was right about all the things he said about Xavier McKinney. And then Brian Dable gives McKinney the game ball after that Commanders game, or has him break down the team as like a maybe a little FU to Wink Martindale, the way he handled it in the media. Also, Wink Martindale did nothing to extinguish the Jay Glazer report, where Brian Dable gave him the game ball, said the only thing we argue about is pizza, and just basically tried to say that everything was fine. So, two different ways that they went about it. And it's just, my question is, did they try and make it work? Because that's going to be really sad if these guys just didn't try to make it work and they just decided, hey, we're going to spend the next 7 weeks together and then this is over. I think the straw that broke the camel back obviously was Giants outside linebacker coach Drew Wilkins, who was fired by the Giants before Wink Martindale was officially resigned or gone as the defensive coordinator, right? He was still the defensive coordinator when they fired Drew Wilkins. Now, Brian Dable fired his buddy offensive line coach Bobby Johnson in the morning, fired special teams coordinator Thomas McGahee, and I agree with firing Drew Wilkins, right? It wasn't really like the front of my mind because of Bobby Johnson and all the Wink Martindale stuff, but that position has underperformed. If you look at pass rush win rate, which I think is the best way to look as pass rushers, out of 78 edge rushers, Kayvon was 71st, Azeez was 74th, and then Jihad Ward was dead last in the NFL. Now, Kayvon was able to get sacks, but there was just no consistency to his game. So I agree with that firing. The issue is that is Wink Martindale's right-hand man. They are best friends. They don't part ways when in the offseason, right? They're always together, whereas the Combine, the Senior Bowl, whatever, they're together, working together. Wink Martindale has said that he's going to be a star in the league, and if it wasn't me being the defense coordinator here, it should be Drew Wilkins. And that had to, light a fire under Wink Martindale's ass to get this fired. And also, Dable, for the first time, really used the media to his advantage, right? They had that 8:30 a.m. press conference after the season Monday morning to say, hey, I expect Wink Martindale back, right? That's what I expect. I expect him back. I want continuity, and put it on Wink Martindale to go and resign, not fire him and not allow him to collect the rest of his check, which, again, he got paid handsomely by the Giants, to really put it on Wink Martindale. It felt like a game of chicken that I guess Brian Dable ended up winning, but I think everyone ends up losing in this. Now, let's talk about the on-field product for this. The stats aren't great for Wink Martindale's defenses, right? They're 18th and 28th the last 2 years in points per game, 28th this year. On EPA, which I think is a better judge of this. This past year, they were 22nd in EPA per play, 12th in pass EPA per play, and then 29th in rushing. And then last year, it was worse, right? They were 28th in total EPA per play, 20th in pass, and 30th in rush. Now, from week 6 on, though, this past season, they were 13th, 6th in the pass, 25th in the rush. And I thought that was, without having some stellar defense full of talent, right? And I think those numbers don't tell the story of Wink Martindale as a defensive coordinator. With Baltimore, he had top 3 defenses 3 of the 4 years he was there. Number 1 twice. And I think the linebacker group is a good sign of what he can do with talent. In 2022, the linebacker group was the Giants' worst unit. They stunk under Jalen Smith, Tay Crowder, and Micah McFadden. You add Bobby Okereke and Isaiah Simmons to the group, and to me, they all outperformed expectations. Bobby Okereke, who was their big free agency signing, played great, had a career year. Micah McFadden, sliding into that number 2 role to Okereke, played his role within his talent very well. Isaiah Simmons, as a gadget defender, was used well to blitz and play man coverage. And their blitzes were just tough to prepare for, and were able to create pressure after the first 5 games and force teams to get the ball out quick. And they really improved getting turnovers, right? Where they got 6 interceptions all of 2022. They got 18 in 2023, and that was a big difference maker and getting this defense turned around to where they were able to win games for the Giants. Obviously, a lot of man coverage. Now, the good thing for the Giants is I don't think the personnel is going to be overwhelmed by a zone-based scheme. And again, they're not guaranteed to go into that, and I still want them to play some man. If you think about it, I think more guys probably struggled from, production-wise from being like Xavier McKinney. His numbers go down under Wink Martindale, right? His skill set is much better in a zone scheme. That's where he's able to play his best. The edge guys, I really think suffer. I think Kayvon and Aziz would look better in a more zone-based scheme. Now, Deonte Banks was drafted to play press man. He's got all the talent in the world to play press man. But right now, he's a better zone defender, in my opinion. And he's not going to stop him from playing man. He's just not going to live in a system that runs, 40 to 50% man coverage all the time. Both of his interceptions are in zone. So as he grows, you can give him those responsibilities, but he's not stuck in that. Okereke, will his production be as good in a defense that runs light boxes? Probably not, but he was good at it with it in Indy, right? Wasn't as good as he was this year, but he was good in it. Cordell Flott is really the only starter who I think really suffers, but I wanted Cordell Flott kind of out of there anyways because he can't play any run defense, but in zone coverage he gets lost. So I do think that this sucks to move on from him. Now, I think the Giants can go and improve at defensive coordinator. I think there's great defensive coordinator minds out there. He had great defenses in Baltimore, and now look at Baltimore's defenses 2 years removed. They're the number 1 defense in the NFL with Mike Macdonald playing a different style. Now, is Mike Macdonald coming around the corner? I don't know. I hope so. But I like having Wink Martindale as a defensive coordinator. Not perfect, but I like the way he played a different type of defense. He dictated the terms. He went after you and really made you have to prepare instead of letting, playing a defense where, hey, just take whatever you want and hopefully you run into a mistake. And especially with the personnel they had, I thought that they did the most with what they had. So we'll do a full podcast breaking down this whole crazy day. Appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe, and let's go Big Blue.